How you water your plants, it might seem like such a simple choice, right? But believe me, in the world of gardening, this is a topic of some pretty fierce debate. So let's dive in and see what the science actually has to say.
So let's imagine this for a second. It's a straightforward question, isn't it? But you'd be surprised. The answer is way more complex than you think, because the method you choose kicks off this whole chain reaction of physics and biology right there inside the pot.
That's right, a war of physics. We're talking gravitational potential fighting against capillary action. And trust me, each side has its own powerful advantages and some pretty serious hidden dangers. So in this explainer, we're going to get to the bottom of it and find out which method really comes out on top.
All right, first up is the classic, the method most of us learn first, top watering. You can think of it as giving your plant a power shower, just like natural rainfall.
The big force at play here is one we all know very, very well: gravity. When you water from the top, it's gravitational potential energy that does all the work, pulling that water down through the soil from the surface all the way to the drainage holes. It really is the most natural way to do it.
The top watering has this incredible hidden benefit you might not even know about. It's called the piston effect. As that water flows down, it physically shoves out the old, stale, carbon dioxide-heavy air that's trapped in the soil. And then, as the water finishes draining out the bottom, it creates a little vacuum that pulls fresh, oxygen-rich air in from the top. This is so critical, because plant roots need to breathe just like we do. But the real superpower of the power shower is its ability to clean the soil. All that tap water and fertilizer, it leaves behind mineral salts that can build up to toxic levels over time. Top watering acts like a rinse cycle, dissolving these salts and flushing them right out of the pot for good. So, let's sum it up real quick. On the plus side, top watering flushes out those salts and gives the roots fresh air. But on the downside, it can sometimes miss spots if the soil's compacted, creating little dry tunnels. And wetting the leaves can kind of open the door for disease.
Okay, let's move on to our next contender, which uses a completely different strategy. This is bottom watering, or what we're going to call the gentle soak. Here, the hero is a totally different force of physics: capillary action. This is the amazing ability of water to literally defy gravity, pulling itself upward through all the tiny gaps between soil particles. It's kind of like watching a paper towel soak up a spill. It's the same principle.
So here's how it works. You just set the plant in a tray of water, and the soil starts acting like a sponge. Thanks to the forces of adhesion and cohesion, water molecules just start climbing upwards, wicking moisture all the way to the top, until the entire root ball is perfectly, and I mean perfectly, and evenly hydrated. No more dry pockets. Guaranteed.
Now, let's talk about a common enemy for pretty much any indoor gardener: these tiny, infuriating fungus gnats. They absolutely love breeding in that moist top layer of your potting soil.
Well, bottom watering offers this really elegant solution because the water's coming from below, the top inch or two of the soil stays completely dry, and if there's no moisture, there's no fungus, and that means there's no breeding ground for gnats. It is a simple, non-chemical way to just shut down their entire life cycle.
And the benefits just keep coming. This method is fantastic for reviving soil that's become so dry it actually starts to repel water. It also keeps the leaves dry, which helps prevent diseases, and it's so gentle it won't wash away those tiny, delicate seedlings.
But, and this is a big but, there's a catch. Remember those mineral salts we talked about? While top watering flushes them out, bottom watering does the exact opposite. As the water wicks up and then evaporates from the surface, it leaves all those salts behind, creating a toxic, crusty layer right where the plant's sensitive crown is.
So we've got two very different methods, each with some massive strengths and one really critical weakness. It's time to put them side by side and finally declare a winner.
When we put them head to head, a really clear pattern emerges. For managing salt and getting oxygen down to the roots, top watering is the undisputed champion. But for controlling pests and watering super efficiently without missing a single spot, bottom watering just absolutely dominates. They're almost perfect opposites of each other.
So, what's the verdict? Well, it's a draw. Yep, there is no single winner here. Trying to pick one over the other is like asking if a hammer is better than a screwdriver. The best tool always depends on the job you need to do.
Which leads us to the real secret. The way professionals get the best results isn't by choosing a side, it's by combining them. Let's talk about the hybrid watering strategy. See, true experts get that these methods aren't competitors, they're actually teammates. They use an integrated system, a routine that plays to the strengths of each method while totally canceling out its weaknesses. And here is the simple routine the pros use. For most of your waterings, use the gentle soak from the bottom. This is going to keep the soil evenly moist and keep those annoying gnats away. But then, about once a month or every 4 to 6 weeks, you give your plant the power shower from the top. That's what flushes out all those accumulated salts. And the golden rule, always, always let it drain completely before you put it back.
And hey, you want to take that flushing shower to the next level? Use the double drench. The first watering you do dissolves all those crystallized salts. Then you just wait a few minutes and you water it again, a second time, to wash that new salty solution right out of the pot. It is incredibly effective.
So in the end, it's not really about top versus bottom. True mastery isn't about picking a team. It's about understanding the flow of water and salt, and then learning how to control that tide to give your plants exactly what they need right when they need it, right?